A very good day to all. I am Tian Sung Yao and my group member is Chua Ying Sing, Chu Shiying, Kabino Zhao Yong and Tang Ying Jia. We are from Group 5 and let's have our first presenter.
Good day, sir. My name is Chu Shiying. My mission number is 279277. So I will present the question 1. Do you believe an individual should have the right to be forgotten? That's it, to remove information about themselves from the internet. If so, should this right be limited, and if so, how? In my opinion, I would say yes. Every individual should have the right to be forgotten. The right to be forgotten is the legend right that allows every individual to request their search engine general information about themselves to be removed. This is due to the some information published in the internet, such as Google, Facebook, are incorrect, and some of the information are considered negative. The private information not be readily accessibility to others and is not necessarily a reliable indicator of the person's characters. This will affect their reputation and the future life. In relation to this, there is the importance of the rights to be forgotten. The first one is the fundamental rights of control over the personal data. The second is to prevent the material damage caused by the false identity. The third is the immaterial and material harmful due to the potential hazard associated with inaccurate data and erroneous or illegal inference derived from such of the data. The lastly is the general decline in autonomy brought about by the existence of unregulated personal information. So because of the lack of privacy online, we no longer have the authority to decide how we can to express ourselves. So since it's our rights and our personal information, I do not believe that the rights to be forgotten should be the limited, which we have the full authority regarding what information is public.
I'm Chen Sung-Yang and my matrix number is 276922 and I will present about the question 2. How does the public policy with respect to individual privacy differ in United States and Europe, and what explains these differences? The public policy that applies in US is California Consumer Privacy Act (CCPA), while the public policy that applies in Europe is General Data Protection Regulations (GDPR). CCPA is the policy that allows the consumer to have more control among the personal information that the business collect about the consumers. So under this act, there are few rights that enable the consumer to protect their privacy, which is right to know, right to delete, right to OPT out, right to collect, and right to limit the use of the sensitive personal information. Right to know. So there are some criteria that can be requested by the consumers from business, such as the categories of the personal information, the categories of the source of the personal information, the purpose of use of the personal information by the business, the categories of the third party that the personal information disclosed by the business, and the categories of the personal information that will be sold by the business to the third parties. Right to delete. So the consumer are able to request the business to delete the personal information that was collected by the business from them. So the next one is the right to OPT out. OPT out refers to the situation that the consumers may request the business to stop selling or sharing their personal information to the third parties unless the consumers give the permission again to the business to do so. And the next one is right to correct. When the consumers find that the personal information is wrong, they have the right to request the business to correct the inaccurate information that provided by them. The last one is right to limit use of sensitive personal information. So the consumer can give the permission to the business to use their sensitive personal information such as social security number, financial account, geolocation data, and genetic data. And however, it has the exemption, which is it only for the limited purpose. General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR). This policy contains the guideline for the collection and the processing of the personal information that collected from the individuals who live and outside of the European Union. It controls the ways that the information moves, whether the part of it or the entire of it, through automated means. It makes it difficult for the companies that have the desire to mislead the consumers by confusing them when they visit their websites. The way of the GDPR to protect the personal data is website visitors are notified of the data collected. Visitors are explicitly concerned to the information gathering by clicking on a button or other action. Sites will notify the visitors in a timely way if any personal data held by the site is ever breached. And there is a mandated assessment of the data security of the site. Whether a dedicated data protection officer DPO needs to hire or an existing staffer can carry out this function.
Good day, doctor and my friends. My name is Taninja, matrix number 281680. I will present question 3, which is how technology makes individuals difficult to protect their privacy. The first point is global information access. Internet facilitated by technology and allow information to be accessed globally. Even if a particular piece of information is removed from the search result in certain regions, it may still be accessible directly through the source sites. In this case study, despite the rights to be forgotten, ruling applying within the European Union, but users still could access removed information through google.com. The second point is data access across boundaries. When data is enabled to store and access across borders, the rights to be forgotten ruling, but the result may be redundant because Google is only required to remove information from European domains, and the data still can access through global domains. This highlights the challenges of enforcing privacy measures in different jurisdictions and global nature of online information. The third point is search engine indexing. In this case, even if information is removed from specific domains, search engines continue to index and make it accessible through other domains. The ease of indexing and retrieving information online poses challenges to individuals seeking to control the availability of their personal data. Next is persistence of information. Once information is published online, it can be challenging to completely erase it. Technology has enabled the storage and archiving of vast amounts of data, making it difficult for individuals to ensure the complete removal of their personal information from the internet. The last point is user tracking and profiling. Technology allows for extensive tracking and profiling of user behavior online. This tracking can result in the creation of detailed profiles containing personal information, preferences, and etc. Such profile may be used by various entities including search engines and advertisers. This affecting individuals' privacy by exposing them to targeted content and advertisements.
Good day, doctor and everyone. My name is Chuan Xing, matric number 278668. I'm going to present the question 4, and the title is, do you think Google should be responsible for modifying its research in response to individual requests? If so, what criteria should it use in doing so? Are there limits to the resource the company should be expected to expend to comply with such requests? So, in our opinion, we think that Google should play a responsible role in modifying such research in response to individual requests. But these responsibilities must exercise with careful consideration of various factors. Google ought to consider factors that evaluate the information relevance, accuracy, and timeliness. Based on the criteria recommended by the Advisory Council, the criteria include the individual role in public life, the type of information, the source of information, and the passage of time. Regarding these criteria set by the Advisory Council, we think that Google should provide a clear and transparent guideline on how it evaluates requests and what factors are taken into account. Of course, there are limits to the resources that Google should be expected to expend to comply with such requests. Google faces practical challenges and resources constraints when responding to these specific individual requests. Google needs to balance the public rights to information access with the right to be forgotten, and each request should be evaluated properly. The organization has to establish restrictions on the resource it can justifiably use to fulfill this kind of request. By deciding on these limits, Google should include thinking about what's feasible, how much it costs, and the overall impact on society if Google changed such research extensively. That's all from me. Thank you.
A very good day to Doctor and my fellow friends. My name is Camila Zhao Yong, meeting number 281296. I'm going to present about question 5, which is if I were a Google executive, how would I balance the privacy rights of the individual, which the public's interest to know, and the right to distribute information? Alright, if I were a Google executive, I will design limitations on each right to ensure the balance between all of it that will be achieved. Besides, I will also ensure Google will strictly obey to our ethical responsibility to ensure that everyone and every information published on Google is fully follows the ethical standard. For the privacy rights of the individuals, I will set some limitation on delete requests, which any delete request will be considered about the types of information before we going to take any action. If the information is published includes private information like financial information, hotel check-in records, identity card number, and so on, those information published in Google will be deleted. Moreover, I will act on the transparency and user control to protect privacy rights. Transparency in data gathering and use should be prioritized. It allows users to have complete control over their privacy setting, including the power to choose what information they wish to share and with who. For the public interest to know, any request of delisting information will consider from individuals' role in public. If individuals have a clear role in the public, like a politician, CEO of a company, influencer, singer, sports star, and so on, their request to delete such information will be rejected. Those information regarding the political discourse, the citizen engagement or government will not be considered to be deleted. I will also state the clear policy and compliance to create and implement explicit privacy rules that follow applicable law and regulation. Also, the reviewing and updating work will be conducted consistently. Finally, about the rights to distribute information, first, I will take action on the legal and accuracy of the information. Information obtained from the illegal sources like cheating, stealing, fake, and so on will be deleted immediately. Next, the time effect will be considered for the delisting information also. Information from other sources which already not relevant to the situation nowadays will cause the delisting. Lastly, I will comply with the public engagement and feedback by actively soliciting feedback from the public, privacy professionals, and advocacy groups to ensure that a more inclusive and diversified perspective into the decision-making process. So, that is all of the case study presentation from Group 5. Thanks for your time.